The company was founded in 1984, just after Phil Tippett had finished working on Return of the Jedi. We're very well known for our character animation, for our realism in all the images that we create. We've been in the CG business since there's been a CG business. In the early days, companies like Tippett Studio had to invent our own tools to do things. We are discovering through the tools that the Foundry makes, like Katana and Moto, and of course Nuke, we are able to speed up how we do things and make better looking images. Even a studio of our size, which isn't a giant, massive studio, you will have your art department, your modelers, your riggers, your animators, your texture painters. What's nice about Moto is that it takes some of those barriers down, is that the design, the sculpt, the texturing, and even the animation and the rendering is facilitated right through the software itself.
Currently, I'm using predominantly Nuke and Moto. When it came time to do Cosmos, the fact that we were working on a show that had tight deadlines and the fact that it now ran on Linux were sort of like the perfect storm that let us sort of bring it in-house and start playing with it. When we first heard that we were getting Cosmos and we learned that we were going to be working on the ship of the imagination, which is basically just a very shiny object. When I first thought about that was like, maybe we can try Moto on this, because the fact that Moto was such a quick renderer and we could just position lights and sort of interactively take a look at it while we're working on setting up the textures or working on setting the scene or setting the lighting, made it just ideal for that kind of possibilities.
The work that we're doing is as hard as it's ever been. The demands of the clients that come here are very high. Everybody wants something amazing and something beautiful, and they want it done fast.
Going from film work, which typically has a much longer range for turnarounds, to episodic TV work like Cosmos, really requires a lot of flexibility in the pipeline. We can respond to those faster turnarounds with tools like Katana. It's a lighting tool, but it's a lighting and rendering tool. It's something that allows us to pull in all the different bits and pieces from our pipeline and pull them all together so that we can generate render passes and do lighting and look depth and asset development.
I tried to get a commercial for my new movie on during the game, but apparently it's not family friendly. What? I know.
Our pipeline is largely Linux-based, and so introducing Photoshop into that mix, we ended up with 2 machines on an artist's desk and having to send data back and forth between them. Mari let us kind of ditch all of that and do real 3D paint as well as 2.5D paint right on one box. It was just a much more efficient workflow.
We invest in talent, we invest in resources, we invest in technologies and tools that will help us to make the best images possible.
And I feel really excited about the possibilities. The Foundry right now, that I focus like lasers on what it is I'm trying to get done.